Um, yeah, this is a little awkward. I'm recording again for the first time in a couple of months. I want to talk about something, and I got influenced by the Metal Meltdown. Shout out the Metal Meltdown for influencing this video and this topic. But I want to talk about, um, well, how do I word this? An obvious problem that we all have in the metal world with MAGA and whatnot. So I'll be referencing his video a lot. So Uncle Melty made a video from a how he opened it up was from all the frontman for All That Remains and another um, influencer in the goth scene that I've seen a couple of times browsing on Instagram with his obvious sexist and goth and punk and metal has been they've ruined it and whilst for completely forgetting the past, like, I guess in this case 50 years of uh of music and metal, punk and goth. Um, well, I'm not going to be talking about that in specific. What I want to focus on in this video is, kind of pointing in the other direction of songs and calling out certain musicians for probably being posers, but you not knowing that. So, I don't know. It's kind of a double-edged sword. Now, what is a poser? Well, a poser is someone who poses. Let's say someone who's a punk, but they're really no, they're MAGA, for example. Make America Great Again. I mean, that's a whole different fucking ballpark that I don't really want to get into. But basically, Trump. If you haven't been paying attention to the news, um, he's been not making it very good in America. I'm a Canadian, so whatever happens there affects me as a person, as a fellow Canadian. But you know, when I think about it, is that punk was founded, on anti-establishment, and then there's completely different subgenres of punk, post-hardcore, hardcore, calling out people like Trump, uh, RFK Jr., just any politician that is like not, clearly dictatorial, um, carries such power to silence said like music. Like they don't, like, when you think about it, Trump doesn't even want you to have these like people calling him out. He only wants him to be the good guy, right? So, and with current events, it's kind of looking like 1930s Germany when I don't really want to say the word, but it's kind of going in that direction. I mean, it's kind of hard to not realize that what 2025 to 2026 um, um, in the world, I guess, for 2026 America, comparing to 1930s Germany. I mean, with the Yahtzees, you know what I'm talking about. Anyone who has, uses their head, but, and someone who's paid attention to history a lot. The Dead Kennedys came out with a song called Yahtzee Punks F Off. Um, punch a Yahtzee, guys, come on. But anyway, so all that remains from him is a libertarian. Like, it kind of fences both liberal and Republican. Well, he's obviously far right. I mean, it's kind of obvious um, that he is. because he supported Trump. So that doesn't really like mean he's libertarian. He's far right. And poser, he's a poser. Um, that goth dude who was featured on the podcast. I haven't seen it personally, but I just don't want to waste my time with two fucking morons just mumbling about of, oh, when women and punk, where it's all liberals, it's all a hoax, it's a liberal hoax, um, and all that fun stuff. But basically, it's kind of like, liberals are the cause of all this when historically speaking, all right, like like MAGA specifically, like those people who want to control everything. Donald Trump wants to control everything and wants to, arrest people and whatnot. Ghost of Yotai as well, leaning back on that current video that the Metal Meltdown made. Excuse me. The lead, like the actor for the lead character, is gender fluid, so they don't go by she, her, or he, him. They go by they, them, and that caught some heat. Whilst also in the video, Uncle Melty also mentions the fact that she's not like this big-titted like waifu and whatnot, and it just caught a lot of heat. Whilst another creator that I don't remember got triggered by the fact that there's a woman talking in Call of Duty 7, which I find hilarious because, if we're going back on history, women weren't allowed to fucking serve in World War I and II. They could only work as nurses, whereas nowadays you can see women working in the military and whatnot. And it's like men can't keep it in their pants. But that's not what we're talking about today. We're talking about music. Obviously, this is a music-related channel. And basically what I want to touch base on is the musicians. Slayer. Big fan of Slayer. Me, myself, I'm a huge fan of Slayer. I really like War Ensemble. That's a very heavily political motivated song. And I don't want to say Tom Araya is like a poser, because if you listen to like their first album, Die by the Sword, it's spouting off like family values and traditional values and stuff like that. But he's not like this grifter. I mean, it was kind of obvious, but it was mostly Jeff Hanneman wrote the song. So, and I wouldn't say Tom Araya is a poser, but when you're, supporting a PDF file, then that's not a good look for you, but I am sorry, but that is not a fantastic look. Someone who's on the Epstein list, by the way, it's not like some fucking, some closed off secret. This is a very open secret about it. So yeah, not a good look. And the fans as well. Holy shit! If there's no other people that pisses me off more, it's the metal fans who are like, oh, those liberals and fucking, they ruined metal and whatnot. And someone like I don't remember what's his name, but the frontman for Machine Head, he's a liberal, but one of their albums, considered one of the greatest albums of all time, I think it's called Black Diamond or something like that. I don't know, I can't remember, but he was like, there's a lot of talking points on that album, you know, calling out the right leaning crowd and all that fun shit. And it's so annoying when someone like the frontman for All That Remains or the fans or whatnot just over dissect the music, or the musicians that are clearly like liberals ruined everything for us. Music isn't music anymore. Everyone knows The Clash and London Calling, by far the greatest album of all time, whilst also having a lot of like spouting points as well about London Calling, the title track, and the opening track is about war in London during that time, when the front man was living in a certain part of town where it was completely flooded all the time, and it was very cold as well. It was like winter, I believe. But also, like when you think about it, it's that these people are clearly posers. Frontman from All That Remains is a poser because he's not libertarian. He's obviously a right wing grifter. That fucking goth guy that I don't really have the brain power to remember. Um, he's also a poser as well. Um, Tom Araya is kind of like, it's kind of double edged because he was never really a liberal per se. He didn't grift, but he kind of is supporting someone who's like been historically the worst president in the world. And like, who else? Oh god, there's probably so much. But like, oh, let's take Death and Famine by Death-Amphetamine um, by Exodus. It's an 8-minute track that calls out the death and famine from everyone. Blacklist as well is another great track. It's calling out all the hypocrisy, all of just the stuff that is not good for the people, and that's like killing people literally. Like, this is like at a time before I was even born, that like there's there's a lot of messed up shit going on. There still is a lot of messed up shit going on in this world, but it's kind of hilarious to see the fans be like, liberals ruined everything, and well, MAGA wants to completely shut everything down. No art, no music, and if you don't agree with what Trump is doing, you might as well just fucking go to alligator whatever the fuck it's called. You can find it on the internet. ICE does a lot of different unjustly arrests on whether immigrants are there illegally or not. Like, even the people that are there illegally, I mean, they just got arrested. And this is a lot of good talking points for music, and this is, I'm saying that this has everything to do with support me and support Trump, is what MAGA is kind of like. I mean, there's no excuse for this kind of stuff at all. Like, people like Rise Against could have used a lot of those talking points for their newer album Ricochet, but they didn't. I wonder why. But it's just like, people kind of like just want to go la 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 la. I don't want to hear it. It's like, well, if you don't want to hear it, then You're just a part of the system. People get, and again, like going back on that video that Uncle Melty made, is that people are so surprised that Rage Against the Machine and fucking and fucking System of a Down are like political, but not their kind of political. Haley Williams as well wore a shirt that said abort the government because, you know, everyone is like, oh, abortion is unjust and it's killing babies and blah 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 blah. Like, cry about it. Like, these are people who like are calling this shit out because it's unjust. Like, you can get arrested and charged for homicide if if my more southern cousins out in America, you know, it's more, the more southern you go, the more illegal it is to, you know, it is to abort fetuses because those idiots think that, you know, that when there's a heartbeat in the ultrasound, that's the fetus. That's the fetus, you know, growing. Like, there's not a heartbeat until like probably 9-10 months in, and then pregnancy happen, pops out the baby. But, and going back to music in this instance, is that there's like, you know, Dave Mustaine. Holy shit, how could I forget? Dave Mustaine is also a... Is he really a poser? I mean, he went more of a right-wing direction, like, after... Because he was a broke kid for the time, then he started getting, you know, they started getting bigger and bigger, and he was more liberal back in the 90s, and then the 2000s he started to grift. I won't say he's a poser. He grifted into the Republican side of things because he got more greedy with money. And from going out from a broke kid to a rich kid now, a rich 60-year-old guy who's like, you know, who stopped playing, like, you know, certain songs because it goes against his religion. I mean, fucking Slayer, for fuck's sakes, still plays South of Heaven, which is clearly a satanic song. Like, hello? Like, what? And it pisses me off that there is people who don't understand that this is an art form. Like, historically speaking, punk and thrash and hardcore has been DIY the entirety of their career. Like, when you listen to shit like, you know, Sepultura, the Dead Kennedys mentioned, London, sorry, I just said the album, The Clash, who else? Rise Against, Bruce Springsteen as well. When you listen to those people, and when they have when Bruce Springsteen, sorry, I'm getting off track here. These people are, like, you know, using their platforms to call out stuff that is, like, you know, that goes against everything that MAGA stands for. And people in the USA, not all of them, but the over-patriotic people, fucking blast Born in the USA without realizing the context of that song. Like, that song is calling out everything bad in the USA. And, you know, people will say Bruce Springsteen is on the wrong side of history and whatnot, specifically the MAGA cult, because, you know, they just spat out, if you don't like the USA, don't stay here. Like, yeah, and another person, I can't remember exactly who he was, or what, like, I follow him, he's a content creator, he cooks stuff and whatnot, but he's also a fucking grifter too. Like, I seen all of those. It's remember them liberals. He said that those liberals have once again blocked out the chance for the Epstein files to be released. Wrong. Try again. It's the Republicans, because when that was still going on, the Republicans who were under Donald Trump's payroll said no. But then when the Republicans who were starting to see the spouting off of bullshit that that's going on, they all said, fuck it, release the Epstein files. And that's important because whether you like it or not, well, I mean, you're not going to like it, but he's on the list. Whether you like it or not, liberals did not and have not, historically speaking, blocked out anything for the truth coming out. Now, there's a lot of Democrats that could have released the Epstein files, but they didn't. Like, this is not some secret that everyone is aware of. Like, this is very open. Sorry, my phone was low, and I don't know if I was gonna freeze, if it was gonna, if it cuts out and then you see me frozen for like half a minute. But anyways, so yeah, I mean, it's like thrash, punk, post-hardcore, hardcore, heavy metal. They're all like metal, punk, and everything in between, goth included, are political. This isn't some revolutionary thing that just came out of nowhere. No, this came out at the time when there were still wars going on today. Like, I can turn to the first two singles ever released in like 20 years by System of a Down, Genocidal Humanoid and Protect the Land, are sending a message to be like, hey, Armenia is being attacked by the Azerbaijanis. They are killing people for religious reasons. Let's write a song about this because this is sending a message for hope, for peace, and just for love. And John DeLyman is a fucking poser too, because Jesus Christ, he's a fucking Trump supporter too. I cannot believe that. Oh my god, I just realized that now. Anyways, he's a poser. I mean, like, he's in a band that is like very political. I mean, I guess he's not really much of a poser because him and Serge don't really see eye to eye on certain things, but he's a poser because, well, he's kind of actively posing in a band for freedom, for equality, for everything in between, and yet he is a part of the cock, and that is what makes every single fucking musician that I've listed off a poser. They're just another cog in the machine. And there's a whole lot of other people that are part of the cock. I mean, people are surprised when they don't support Trump. I mean, no shit. Like, he's actively being a dictator. Like, this shouldn't be some fucking revolutionary thing. Like, Tempo of the Damned is calling out, all the bullshit in the more Middle Eastern countries. Well, their song "Children of a Worthless God" is about, hey, Osama bin Laden is a terrorist and he will kill you if you're not Muslim. Is this some fucking thing? Like, this is that song was released around the early 2000s. Like, which album? I don't know. Not important. Everything is political. Like, it doesn't fucking matter. Like there's a lot of musicians who aren't political. That's fine. More power to them. But yes, everything is political. Every fucking thing is political. Me being Canadian, political. Me liking political music is political. Me calling out the bullshit from politicians is political. Me following a set amount of values that I set for myself is not political. I mean, that's just my choices. But everything is political, whether you like it or not. Everything is political. Music's political, art's political. Myself being born is not political. I don't know why I jumped to that conclusion, but c'est la vie, I guess. But life is political. There's no in between with it. There's nothing that you can do about it, which sucks because everyone sucks so much. And it surprises me, honestly. It's frustrating. At the Gates video will be coming out soon. I don't know when. I don't know why I decided to fucking throw that in here, and everything that's made political, everything in here about a political fucking, video, I guess, that I got influenced. Check out the Metal Meltdown. I will try to link his channel in the description. And I will see you guys here very soon. There's a lot of personal things going on in my life that has just made me, kind of question whether I wanted to be here or not. But I'm back. Good to see y'all. And fuck MAGA. Take care, everyone.